Tonight, it's my birthday, and for my pick, I invite you all to unleash your inner wolves as we talk about Creep 1 and 2.
IBS got you down?
Hi!
The crowd goes mild.
Happy birthday, Sandra!
Thank you,
birthday.
guys. Thank you.
So exciting.
Thank you.
We get to spend the birthday with you.
All of you and us and this basement and Mark Duplass
Duplass.
and Creep.
Especially Mark and Creep, yes.
Yes.
Very nice.
Well, I wanted to pick Creep. I love the Creep movies. And now we got the Creep tapes. And the first Creep movie, did you guys notice that? Came out 10 years ago.
10 years.
10
Yeah, it's like
years.
10 years old.
Wow.
Oh,
How does it make you feel?
ancient. It makes me feel brittle, like an artifact of paper, like that somebody found, and they're like, you have to handle it very delicately or it'll just turn into powder and blow away.
Wow.
Well, that's what happens when you turn 20.
2070. That's how old I am. I'm 2070.
Not a day older. That's
Exactly.
right.
270. I feel like Bilbo Baggins.
Did you say Bilbo?
Bilbo Baggins.
Okay, just making sure I heard that right.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't know The Hobbit.
I don't know the Hobbit.
You don't know anything
He
Lord of
doesn't.
the Rings.
Not really.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
know.
People, can you believe Neil's never seen Lord of the Rings?
I know.
Never seen it.
Can you
and
believe I
yet-
haven't given up 1,000 hours of my time to watch those movies?
But I mean to like
I
never
can believe he
seen-
hasn't read it.
Yeah.
Well, this we know.
Obviously.
We should probably toast.
To Sandra.
Oh, please stop.
Raise your goblets in honor of Sandra.
Sandra and on
embarrassing
her 111th
11th birthday,
birthday.
So,
Yeah.
I've not had a minute to watch a thing. However, I did want to share that I'm excited about a couple things.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, Yellow Jackets,
Is it coming back?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's like very near future.
Yes.
We can see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it leads to the Yellow Jackets, and
Which means we got to pay for Showtime again.
we gotta pay for Showtime again. Ooh, here we go. Very excited.
Season 1 is streaming on
On the flicks.
Netflix.
Yeah.
If you want to catch up.
You should, and you should. We love Yellow Jackets. And the other thing I'm excited about, the whole world is excited about, the whole internet is ablaze for Nosferatu.
Oh.
Aren't we excited?
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter? What's that face? Have you
One
seen
of,
it?
one of us may have seen it.
What?
Oh.
But you probably
I
signed an
know.
NDA.
You're jealous. You're so jealous
I'm
of me
so
right now.
jelly. I'm so jelly. It looks phenomenal. I love an Eggers. My
Yep.
kingdom for an Eggers. And it's been too long. And Nosferatu, I think it's time. Bring back the monstrous vampires.
Yeah.
Like I like those kind. Like them all. But yeah, so I'm super excited. So I just want to feel pumped with people. Are you pumped about Nosferatu? You pumped about Yellow Jackets?
So
I'm
Pumped
pumped.
about you pumped about Creep?
So pumped.
Pumped
Love it.
up.
How about
Pump,
you? How
pump,
about you,
pump it
kid?
up.
What else are you pumped about?
What am I pumped about? It's almost Christmas. I'm not really pumped about that.
Yeah, fuck Christmas.
I'm here with you guys. I'm pumped about that.
That's good.
That's
news.
good, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done anything since last time, so
No,
I don't.
it's out here
Okay.
trying to survive.
Yeah.
The eye of the tiger and the thrill of the fight and all that.
Mm-hmm. I finished This Is How You Lose Time War.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it. Very good.
Beautiful.
Oh, very beautiful. Absolutely.
Should listen to our episode about it.
I did. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
Excellent
it's such
work.
a good book. It's a novella, and it's but you just get lost in it. Get lost in that book.
Yeah, it's a weird, when you were describing it in your podcast, which is the Genre Junkies, check it out. I didn't think I would like it, to be honest with you.
You thought not this
Like,
spooky.
a novel or a book about, told through letters,
Yes.
but it's
Epistolary,
done
it's called.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautifully, actually.
You should read it.
It's
Oh, sure.
I don't know. You haven't read you've read your yearly book.
I have.
So this could
Get off
be.
my back!
I think
I read my book.
No, it's science fiction. He'll hate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's okay. We have to choose our yearly Neil book wisely.
And,
so.
and a love story. So Neil doesn't believe in love. I believe in a thing called love, but
I'm
Neil
leaving
doesn't.
Don't believe in love. Do not.
What about you? What do you got?
Unless it's cat love, I just don't believe in it.
Oh, cat love.
There's a film opening called Getaway from IFC.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
coming out
Today.
Today, right?
Yep.
Okay. I've seen that. So I asked them for a screener. And that's Nick Frost.
Mm-hmm.
And he and his family go on a vacation, a holiday.
Oh, Nick
getaway.
Frost.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and they go to an island, and up in, I think might be near Swedenish area.
Like a Nordic-y.
Yeah, somewhere up
yeah,
in them
yeah.
areas. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. I really recommend it. IFC's been doing a great job picking up some good films, and it's just like it's total like.
Is it funny?
No, yeah, it's funny, and it's god dang, it's kind of like Wicker Man meets.
Oh, like going to a small
Shaun of the
village?
Dead meets
Midsommar?
yeah, meets Midsommar. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
excited.
It's just it's kind of got, and it's got a nice twist at the end. You don't really see coming. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend check it out. I mean, it's not going to make your best top 10, top 5 list or whatever, but it's still it's a
If
good
you're
film.
just looking to have a good,
good
time,
time. Yeah.
there you go.
It's a good time.
I want to just
So-
have fun.
It's a lot of fun. Like you think you know where it's going, and then it doesn't go there, and it's surprising that you're like, oh, that's awesome
Good.
that it doesn't go there.
Doesn't go where you think it's going to
Oh,
go.
okay.
It'll
That's right.
surprise you.
Yeah. Fortunately,
right.
it's not playing in a lot of theaters.
Mm.
We're only playing it in one of our locations,
Yeah,
and it's not here.
but it'll be on Shudder. Like most IFC
Right.
films now.
Exactly.
So it'll be out there. But
Exactly.
if it's in a theater near you, go check it out.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't have anything other than we have another package, people.
What?
We got another
I
box.
feel like
do not.
we're big time now. We're getting we're getting gifts and things. This is
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
like that box looks swollen.
And it's a little heavy, yeah.
It's
a little.
swole.
Holy
It's been
smoke.
working out.
All right, let's get into
So we
it.
got our fancy knife. You want to try and cut at it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, for your birthday.
Yeah, it's is it a cake? Is it cake?
So this is
Wouldn't that
from
be funny?
this is from our loyal viewer who chooses not to be recognized. But thank you again,
Let's just
loyal
remain
viewer.
anonymous.
Appreciate it.
Be careful because it is a sharp knife.
Yeah, I'm just having like some
Clearly.
issues. It's like
Sandra's doing a fine job.
fake knife.
Fine job. Here, you want me to get the side a little bit?
Yeah.
I think the year of it living in my bag wrapped in duct tape may have dulled it a bit.
Ah, Jesus, he attacked it
That help?
with
What-
vigor.
Vigor.
What else are you supposed to do?
Like a ripper.
Ah.
Like a Jack the Ripper.
Oh, I
Okay,
think we
well, I
found.
see some packing
What do you got?
materials.
Okay, we got some peanuts.
This thing is packed to the gods, people. Okay, then we got it's from Etsy.
Etsy.
That's like legit. We love Etsy. There's
Merry Christmas. Aw.
multiple boxes.
Thank you. Thank you,
What is
Mr.
happening here?
Or Mrs.
Mr. or Mrs. Viewer.
Everything in between.
Whoa.
Jesus. Heavy.
Wow.
Oh. You're not ready. Nope, you're not ready. You're not ready for what's in here. You think you're ready? And I think this is something in here. Is
We might not be, but maybe the viewers are.
Okay, so first we got a blue box.
box. It's a nice box.
Oh, is that like a power cable?
Yeah.
What's in these other ones?
I don't even know what's in that one.
You gotta open it.
Well, I've got USB cables
What's in the box?
So you open it,
and power.
and there is some lovely blue velvet satin.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Do you see?
Nice.
That
you
is
see?
sick.
And we're gonna light up too.
Yeah, we're
It's
gonna
us.
get lit.
Here, I'll hold it up to the camera. I'll go up to the camera.
Remember, there's
Although I
no.
can't see.
Remember, there's no autofocus.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like a 3D of us. How cool.
And then there's, okay, I've got another
It's our
table.
what do we call that? Our
Creep variant. I mean, yeah.
anime variant.
Oh, this is the anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's
No, it's
more.
not.
Oh well, you're right. It's not. It's actually just us.
We're like really three-dimensional in that.
Yeah.
The camera doesn't even really pick up.
Doesn't do
how
it
much,
justice.
That is so cool.
Wow.
Okay, and then, okay, I think it's coming together here. So then there's another one, and this is us, again, different image.
Oh, okay. That's the creep one, the creep show variant, or whatever we call it.
And
Yes. Wow,
That is so
that's
cool.
awesome.
so
Oh my gosh.
it's like, if you look at this, see, it's like you have the crystals, and
Oh
then
yeah,
that's the
and, here,
base.
and here's the light
yeah.
up here.
And then there's like a base, and then it like lights
How
up.
cool! I want to see it lit up. We don't
This
have a.
is insanity.
Wow.
What?
Wow. Oh,
I told
thank
you guys you weren't
so
ready.
much.
Thank you. Oh my God,
Thank
how
you,
sweet.
thank you, thank
no one's
you.
ever made us into a crystal before.
No, I mean I've always felt I was.
And these are
but...
like heavy.
It's
This
heavy.
is heavy.
Yeah,
This is like
substantial.
this is a paperweight. This is
Yeah.
what you use if your daughter, if no one's giving your Father's Day cake, and then
Yeah.
you get really mad and you need to bash your dad on the head.
Mhm.
This is what you use for that.
My cake
So-
party, I mean, like, it's quality. It's a quality gift.
Wow.
Thank you so much, dear viewer, listener.
Yeah, we'll
Person
we'll
extraordinaire.
get it plugged in at some point, and we'll take
show
some
it off.
pictures, and we
Yeah.
we'll throw it up on
Yeah.
on social media so you guys can see it. But
Such a trip.
that's
It's
neat.
so
Thank
cool.
you.
Oh, my
Thank
mic
you.
fell. I hope I'm
We
okay.
have to share custody of this stuff.
My mic does not want to behave today. Okay.
Okie dokie.
You know what? With all of that mirth out of the way, can I please have a Jake bumper? I picked it, people. I picked it. Oh, you better believe. So, Creep. We're going to
Creep.
talk about Creep 1 and Creep 2. Of course, we're going to start with Creep 1. Where else would we start but Creep 1?
Chronological order is a logical place to begin.
Logical place to be in. The year was 2014. A young videographer answers an online ad for a one-day job in a remote town to record the last messages of a dying man. When he notices the man's odd behavior, he starts to question his intentions. So this was what started it all. I think they had about $5 to make this movie.
about
Directed,
the same amount of days.
yeah, directed and starring Patrick Bryce and Mark Duplass, and they also wrote it. And
Ah.
they made the magic happen. So I think this was on, I don't remember where I saw this now. It was somewhere. It was a blurb, and it said the world's deadliest and most uncomfortable serial killer. And I was like, go on, tell me more. Gritty, slow burn, dark, dry humor. It's cringy. It's so cringy. It's uncomfortable. I love it. I love these movies. I think it's kind of like, I remember when it came out, it was like, if you got it, like you just got it. Like what they were doing here. I love that the first one's about two men. I think that you don't find that a lot. Like, you know, traditionally I think they'd put like a woman and a guy together. But I like that it's about two men. And Aaron, our victim, he's like a young, big, tall guy. He's not like who you would expect in a horror movie. First of all, you wouldn't necessarily expect it to be about two guys, and you wouldn't expect it to be about, well, that guy looks tough. He looks like he can take care of himself. But he gets put into a very vulnerable situation. And I don't feel like that's very common in media, and I like that. And I kind of have some more things to say about the Creep movies in general. But so I'll just do it fast. People get into these weird relationships. I love watching online when people talk about, I think I went on a Tinder date with a serial killer, and like, or people taking weird jobs for like a day, and they're like, I think I worked for somebody who did something really fucking bad. or coworkers and neighbors and stuff, and there's just something creepy and off about them, or they can be really cringy people. There's something about these creeps that you've met them a little bit in life, and I love that. It all just feels real to me, and I especially love these scenes where Mark Duplass, who's so fucking funny, especially in real life, where he just has dead eyes. He just has dead eyes, and there's just nothing there. Yeah, that's my creep soapbox. And I'm
Okay.
sorry that it's kind of found footage-y, which isn't your favorite, but I wasn't going to tell you that right away.
Yeah.
But it's not like found footage-y exactly. It's not
No,
like-
it's not
not exactly.
exactly, for sure. So
Exactly.
I have actually seen the first one.
You had seen the first one,
Yeah,
you couldn't
so
remember.
we're correct. Once I got into it, I had remembered things, and then I completely remembered the ending. So yeah, I had
Partaken
in
in a
Creep 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, and since I'm talking, I might as well keep going. and
But you have the floor.
in that yeah, I was a little concerned at first with the, like you said, the kind of the found footage ish style. And it's not exactly found footage, but we will get into it as we move along a little bit, I'm sure, about some of my qualms. Yes, we'll say. It's not quite an issue, but more of a, well, would you do that?
A bugaboo?
But with that kind of style. But
Mhm.
overall, I think these are both fine films. I think they are fun films. Yeah, Mark Duplass I think is awesome.
So
I
good.
do quite enjoy him and his character, and what he brings to these
Y'all
movies.
ever seen him on Celebrity Jeopardy? Smacks on Celebrity Jeopardy.
I did see him in the morning show.
Yes, he's done that as well.
So that's I think that's the main thing I recognized him from.
Yeah.
I believe. Although also, of course, I probably had watched this before the morning show.
Did you
but-
prefer 1 or 2?
Part 2.
For 2.
I prefer part 2.
Yeah, it's in a little more
But-
enrichment.
I think it's just there's a little, because you already know his character is established. You don't have to wait for that to find out what's going on. It just kind of gets right into it.
We're jumping right in.
So I kind of like that there's just more of it.
Yeah.
I think in part 2, and it's a little more interesting to me, the dynamic actually, because
Change it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
because obviously the Aaron, and then the character in part 2. What's her name?
Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sarah loves her juicy fruit.
It's a whole different way that she's playing at him. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Which-
she's coming at it from a different angle.
Right, which I kind of enjoyed.
Right. Whereas, before he was just trying to be so polite, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, these were first time viewings for me, and
viewing.
like Neil, they're fine movies.
They're fine.
They're fine.
They're just fine.
I'm not gonna say I love them because
Didn't love it.
But Mark Duplass, excellent. Any actor that can make you that uncomfortable,
Yes. It's an art.
they're doing something special. Absolutely. This is definitely a movie of the times, right? It only works now, I think.
Nowadays,
in this era
I think so too.
of internet age, constantly posting things and
I think that's kind of like, because this has come up a little bit before. We've talked about this before, where it kind of used to be like in some of these kind of found footage for, I'm sick of myself saying that word so many times, but for lack of a better word, where it's like everything is filmed. Back in the day, you'd be like, this is insane. They should be, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, in this day and age, it's weirder if you don't film something. If something happened to you and you're not filming every fucking second of it, and like, it's almost like, did it even happen? Like, you know what I mean? And like, we got the lady on TikTok who thought she had a body in her backyard, and and she's filming every second of it. Like, that's just where we're at. We're oversharing constantly. Yeah.
but
I love these movies so much. I love both of them.
And it's because you hate cringe.
I really do. Cringe is like my
Cringe?
cringe. I have a lot of trouble with it, but this walks such a fine line of being true horror to me because of it. He is so just dedicated to that character.
Commitment is
I,
everything.
I don't think I can think of someone who is more committed. The bathtub scene and the first the tubby scene is just Oscar worthy. I love these movies so much. I should have picked these because they're just that good to me.
In
from
our
top
house,
to
it's a
bottom.
creep house. It's a creep
Very
family.
nice.
Yeah.
And I think we've all met this person that
Yeah.
overshares,
Yeah.
that doesn't
Neil's got a collection of them.
that doesn't quite know what personal space is.
Yeah.
That that
Makes it weird.
Sometimes you just know they're fucking lying, but
Oh my God, that's the
but they're totally
the most
committed to
awkward
the
thing.
to the bit.
we killed Scott.
Sandra's getting funny in her old age.
111th or whatever I am now. But yes, it's so true. So, our videographer, Aaron, he's going to take this job. He thinks it's a one-day thing, no big deal. He's going out to a little lake and mountain town. And at first it appears he's been stood up by the client. It's a really cool house with a lot of stairs and an axe
Yep.
right there,
Yeah.
as he loves to point out.
Okay.
Two of my
but
favorite
would
things.
you view an axe on a stump as
No!
right?
A sign?
Yeah.
A dangerous sign
No, not necessarily.
that
Especially
comes
like
up later in
especially
Creep 2.
in like a wooded lake area, but that's creep logic, right? Yeah. And he comes up and he tells Aaron, "You have a really kind face."
Well, he scares him.
And we need to hug.
It's the first of
Yes.
many like where he just kind of
Jumps
jumps
out
out
at
at you.
Yeah, he wants to make him feel off edge, but he's also kind of like love bombs a little bit too. So
Yeah.
it like throws the people off of like, oh, okay. And then, he misses details and he makes it kind of weird. But then he tells you he's got this inoperable brain tumor. And I don't know, I think a lot of us have met people who are sick and stuff, and sometimes they forget stuff. And you're like, okay, well, maybe if he's being a little weird and stuff, it's the brain tumor. Like,
Right.
we're just so horrible. Like, don't ever fucking lie about having a brain tumor. What is wrong with you? And he wants to make this video diary for his unborn son. Just like that Michael Keaton movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie before?
Just like
I have not.
My
Yeah.
Life. It's Michael Keaton and Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
who wants you to go to the movies. That Nicole.
That Nicole Kidman, yes.
So he seems really weird, but very earnest, and just really right away he's like, "I'm gonna get in the tub."
we're gonna
Yeah,
keep this real.
for a tubby.
We've got a grown ass man naked in a small tub having a tubby,
Having
and
another grown ass man
Filming
him
filming it.
while the man in the tub pretends to have
A baby.
on his
And he's like
stomach,
being all silly with the
Right.
baby and cuddling the baby.
biting
and
its toes, and
so weird.
it's weird.
It's
And then like the baby falls asleep on his chest, like
Yeah.
looking at the flame because he's set up candles.
He's like, "Oh, you
in
like
the
that
bath.
fire, buddy?" I call him Buddy. Like, oh, it's just, and then he puts like the wash rag over his face, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening?" He says, "Well, my dad and I used to have Tubby. We used to have Tubby together," and it's like, "You did?" Like,
How old were you?
yeah, it's like most people wouldn't be old enough to remember a Tubby,
Right.
Right.
if you were having a Tubby with a parent. So it's getting weirder, people.
It's getting weird.
The
Yeah.
stakes are getting higher. Then we meet one of my favorite characters, which is Peach Fuzz. And he's like, "Oh, my dad made this mask," and he sings this stupid song. I like the song from the second one more.
Okay.
I'll perform it when the time is right. But again, he's trying to like creep him out with this Peach Fuzz mask.
Right.
Right.
And it's clearly a scary wolf mask, but he's telling
Yes.
him that it's a friendly,
He's a friendly,
nice wolf. Again, setting up this sort of conflicting, like, oh, is he crazy? Is he,
Okay. Did
is
this
he...
even happen? Is this the tumor talking? Like,
Right.
they're gonna go on a hike.
Right.
And he gives him a good scare, and he says, "That's what it feels like when you look like you're gonna die." I love that line so much. He's like, "You look like you wanted to kill me. You know, peach fuzz in you." Yeah. So they go out on this weird hike that's meandering. Creep doesn't know where the fuck they're going, and he talks about like the legend of like the Corazon and the waters, the miracle waters, and it's a fucking sewage drainage area.
Yeah. But
They do.
along the way, of course, playing more tricks on poor Aaron, running from
Correct.
him, hiding,
Right.
whatever, so
More
he's
scares.
scaring him later. But then they end up finding a heart-shaped
Rock.
So he must have kind of had an idea where he's
Yeah.
going,
I think
right?
maybe he had seen it one time forever ago and he didn't remember
You
where
think
it
so?
was.
You don't think he's like a mad genius that like researches everything and
He could have for that one. I don't know. I don't know with him. I can't tell what's happening. But they find this heart-shaped rock and then they pour the weird sewage creek water on each other and it's like, not in a million years would I do this. And then they're gonna go get some pancakes. And of course he's doing weird stuff there too and messing up like
That's
so
yeah.
yeah.
let's say that's the first time that Aaron kind of goes, "Wait a minute, you said that you'd been here before. How do you not know what this is like or what's on the menu?" Something like that. And you kind of
And he's like, oh yeah.
Oh, they changed it. I was just
Right.
seeing
Yeah.
if there was something new.
Joseph, that's what he says his name is. Joseph. Not Joe, not Joey.
right.
Joseph.
Joseph with an F.
With an F. Joseph with an F. So, you know, he flips very easily between being this seemingly harmless weirdo and making you feel genuinely uncomfortable throughout all the movies at this point. And he asks Aaron, like, talk to me about your shame. And, you know, because Aaron thinks they're doing this, you know, kind of end of life, very vulnerable bonding thing. And so he tells him, like, his most embarrassing
This embarrassing
personal
thing when he used to
story.
wet his pants when he was a little kid.
Yeah. And a common thing a lot of children have a problem with. But it's like he wants to push that boundary a little bit and push their relationship closer than it need be. Then how about the part where he drops on him, I took pictures of you.
Mm.
But I have a good excuse. So it's like he always has like these reasons why you're like, this is weird, but it could be this or it could be that, or maybe I'm taking it wrong, or you know, the things people do to try to comfort and assure themselves that they don't have to be worried.
Right.
There you have it.
Yes.
So now he's the day is over. You can tell Aaron is, you know, uncomfortable and done at this point, and he wants to
He wants
leave.
to leave. Yeah.
Joseph convinces him to stay a little longer.
Just for a drink,
Just for a drink.
which I'm guessing most of us would probably at that point be like,
No.
No.
probably
No.
not a good idea.
No. So you know my thing about like
Yeah.
you need to just leave. Like I'm a little annoyed at this point. You're like, no, you got your money already, so you've obviously put in the required amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, whatever was agreed to.
And you know that is boundaries. But as we know from movies like Speak No Evil, people sometimes have problems with that.
Yeah. No, I understand, and
Yeah.
it didn't ruin the movie for me. Let me just say that I didn't check out.
Yeah.
I was
But
just kind of like,
I was like, Aaron, just get in your car.
no.
And is this when he can't find the keys too? It's like after the first.
No, I
drink.
think that was the second time because now, right?
Oh, it's
Because
somewhere
doesn't he
between-
tell
yeah.
him the story about his wife and?
Almost. So before that, they have another uncomfortable conversation about money.
Right.
And
Oh,
he
how
tells
he's
him,
gonna
like-
give him money
Yeah,
because he
he's like,
needs
look
the
in
money.
your boot, and
Right.
he's like, well, see, you looked, and it's like, oh my god, this is like, again, the secondhand uncomfortableness, if that's
Yeah.
a word, of being like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I want to give you money. I know you need money, and it's like, stop talking about it like you don't know this person. Like you're not supposed to talk to like people you don't know about like money. It's a weird thing to talk about.
It's a weird thing to talk about, but again, he explains it okay-ish. He's like, if you had food and I didn't have any, would you give me some? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
He
he's
finds
like,
his ways.
okay, all right, I guess I'll keep staying.
He manipulates.
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
He's good. He's a master manipulator.
Oh, so I think this is okay. Then this is where it gets really Gross. Joseph tells him this, like, he needs to get this off his chest, apparently, about he had found his wife was watching a lot of, like, animal abuse.
Like
Of a
bestiality
intimate
type,
nature
yeah.
videos, and he tells this absolutely disgusting story about how he, in that very cabin where they are, sexually assaulted his wife wearing the peach fuzz mask.
Right.
And you're like, what do you say? What do you even say?
Right.
And you're stuck in this cabin with this
There's
person.
oversharing, and then there's this.
Yeah.
You know,
And you're like, am I supposed, what do you say in the moment? Like, what do you say? What do you say? Aaron decides he's going to poison Joseph just a little bit.
so he can leave.
Yes. So he spikes, we can tell he's doing something to the drink over there. Turns
Yep.
out it's Benadryl.
But I'm thinking, like, at this point, like, oh, is this like a weird long game thing where
Yeah.
where Aaron's actually the creep? You know,
It's a pretty,
I knew Joseph was, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is kind of cool that they're throwing this in, but also
like, that's a pretty serious thing to
that's
do.
the level he has to get to get out of there, to
Yeah.
remove himself from the situation.
Because at that point he can't get his keys, right?
I
Like,
think that's when he
he's
can't.
already lost
I
his
think he's already
keys.
lost his
Yeah.
keys. Yeah.
And Joseph was saying, just spend the night. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But of course, Aaron wants to get the hell out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not staying here. But I mean, yeah, like to put a whole bunch of Benadryl in somebody's drink, that's kind of a fucked up thing to do. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't the right thing to do
Right.
in this situation, but it's like kind
Yeah.
of serious, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it kind of, now it almost turns the tables a little bit when Joseph calls him on it later, as he's kind of like, well, you did fucked up things to me, poisoned me.
Yeah.
In my vulnerable state. So a sister calls Angela.
While Joseph is unconscious.
Yes, on his phone. And she's kind of like, you should just go. Like, like kind of
Well,
doing that-
Angela is who he said his wife
Yeah.
Yes.
was, correct?
And Angela's like, no,
So-
I'm his sister. My brother's not well.
Right. So at first Aaron's kind of confused about, like, are you guys married? Are you
Right.
What
you
is
know,
this? Yeah.
right? But Angela just keeps saying, like, won't give specifics, but says you just need to leave.
You just need to leave. You just need to get
She's
in
like,
your
where
car.
are you? We're at your cabin. She's like, what cabin? Where are you? What? Just,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always really scary in a movie where it's like, what? Things aren't right. What? How do I have to go. So so that's when he saw me. I'm like, oh,
He goes back out there after the phone call.
yes.
Because he was hiding because he didn't want to wake him. He didn't
Yeah.
want to wake Joseph up,
And then he goes out there and Joseph is gone.
and Joseph is no longer.
That's right. And they have a confrontation because Peach Fuzz is blocking the door and won't let Aaron out.
Right.
But he get and there's and then there isn't like, and there's at one point Joseph's like sobbing. Isn't he like sobbing? It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you can't tell if he's laughing or crying.
That's
or,
true.
You know, and he's asking, "Are you going to let me leave?" And he's not saying anything. He's
Yeah.
just shaking his head. And
Right.
it's cool imagery. I mean, you're like, oh, this is fucked up.
This guy's blocking the door. Peach
That's
is
right.
blocking your door.
And they have a tussle.
They have a tussle. They have a confrontation.
But of course, it's on camera that. See, and this is where I start to question a little bit of, if you are truly scared for your life at that point, like, would you really be filming that at that point, or
People do it.
Yeah.
like, would you be thinking enough to have your camera? Because it wasn't a phone. He had a real, a 35 millimeter digital,
People
deal
do
with
it
the
though.
thing.
People do it.
I don't know. That's a big camera in my opinion to be holding.
But like,
when all
if
you're
you're
thinking about is
But if you're like a
survival.
photographer like Scott and you have it, like, you'd use it, I think.
I just don't know.
It really comes down to one of those things when you are a professional photographer like that, when you're a professional videographer, it's like he's not even thinking about the fact that he's filming it. That's just
This
what
is
he
his
does.
arm.
It's just
Yeah.
what he does.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I
Right.
said, people be doing it online every day. People be doing it. So
I mean, this is the guy that wakes up and turns his camera on and starts talking to it. So
Yes.
yeah, probably. Maybe.
it's just the young people.
See, no,
Neil.
I get, but in that case, he's not under duress.
Yeah, he's
He's just
He's
You know,
just
click through it.
documenting some.
He's documenting,
some
yeah. But I'm saying, at a
things,
point
yeah.
of this where you've just been told you're in a house with a dangerous dude, you need to get out, and then I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you're right, because I can only speak of my obviously experience. I know I wouldn't do it.
I would want hands free.
Yes, I would
throw
want
them.
both my hands
I would
out,
or a hands free
run.
to grab another weapon,
yeah,
not a camera.
or just to run faster, whatever.
A knife,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. So then we cut to footage of Joseph digging what looks to be a grave, and he has sent this footage to Aaron. So turns out Aaron. Oh yes.
May you guys know
Oh, you and your grave.
me and my digging.
Yeah.
When you dig a hole. See, I said, not easy digging a hole, is it, Joseph?
I appreciate that.
So,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
He really does have to kind of like work at it.
He has to
for a
work
while.
at it, and I'm
I
saying,
almost made that note. I was like, no,
He'll bring it up.
I'm gonna have faith that Neil's got this
Yeah, of
covered
course.
for us.
You know, when it comes to digging a hole,
And he was struggling. It was hard.
yes.
So it turns out that Aaron did escape. He had to have his car towed all the way back, and then he gets this video footage, which is real creepy. And then he's having a dream about like him being little and getting a tubby from Joseph, and it's like, oh, he's in your head. It's too late. He's in your head. And then he gets another box with a knife and a disc and a baby wolf plush.
Yep.
We see Aaron watching the video, but not. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a cool shot where we see Aaron watching the video, and we can hear Joseph apologizing, but we're watching Aaron, not watching Joseph. That makes sense. Do you guys remember that?
Right.
On the couch. And Joseph's apologizing. You know, basically, I said some things you did. You drugged me.
Yeah. I'm sorry about sending you the digging a grave.
Yeah.
video.
Probably thought that was, I can't blame you for throwing it away after you saw that. But again, he's being very nonchalant, and it's like he did tell him to embrace his inner wolf, and he had a little peach fuzz in there.
Right.
He was trying to get Aaron to get a little spicy, a little sassy. And then, of course, really creepy, he says, "See you soon, buddy." That's not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And then how about he's got a locket?
That was inside of the
Yeah.
the plushie. It's like a silver heart-shaped locket.
Yep.
J and A Forever with their pictures
With
in
their
it.
pictures in
But you have to cut open the wolf to get it.
Yeah. He tries, of course, calling the police.
As he's installing a deadbolt.
Right. But he doesn't know a last
But-
name. He doesn't know an address. He doesn't know.
And when he's reciting it back to them, it does not sound very threatening. Unhelpful call to cops is what I said. Oh, he's outside your door. He's outside your door.
That was a cool shot, though.
Yeah.
Where he wakes up and he starts filming himself and
Oh,
he
yeah,
starts
he's-
hearing some things, and then he finally gets up and starts walking around, and Joseph's
Joseph.
just standing at the door,
Yeah.
like just standing there.
Ah!
It's a cool shot. It is a cool shot.
And
And that's another example of actually something that I really like about what the film does is it'd be really easy to have him just kind of like sneakily kind of creep back into the shadows, but he like scurries away.
Mhm.
yeah.
And it's the same thing like when he runs down the stairs earlier to grab the mask. It's like not attractive filmmaking, if that makes sense. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
yeah.
Sure.
But it makes
Dirty.
it
It's
feel
not cool,
real.
creepy, but it's still very
Yeah.
creepy.
It makes it
Yeah.
feel
How, like,
more
this
creepy
weird amped
by
up
being
guy-
real. Yeah.
Yeah, how this weird amped up guy would actually move.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron, but he's filming you sleeping and he's taking hair.
Mm-hmm.
It gets real when they start taking your hair.
Taking the
Taking
hair.
gifts off of your body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when he found that he threw away the locket because he went through his trash like a raccoon.
So yeah, okay. So Aaron, there's the noises, whatever, and he wants to go investigate what it is.
Yes.
And so he goes out, and this is where I pulled to Caleb, because he goes out and he like leaves his door open or whatever.
Right.
And I was kind of like, really, dude? Like you're leaving your door open? I mean,
Yeah.
you think it might be this guy? I mean,
Right.
seems like a bad idea to me.
But he thinks he's got him because he clearly thinks he's in pursuit,
Okay.
and he's not.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's when Joseph got upset because he threw away the locket.
You think that's when he
Well,
decided what was
says
going to happen?
He says, like,
Right.
that wasn't really cool of you. I found Locket.
He does, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm saying is, do you think is that when he decides Aaron's fate, or
Oh, you knew it from
No,
the
I
beginning.
think
Yeah,
he,
okay,
I think he
okay.
knew when he answered the ad.
Yeah.
But so then Joseph, he starts to come clean, and he starts to get really vulnerable, and he's being very open. He's a sad, lonely person who fucks things up because he's just sad and lonely and broken. And Aaron's like, okay, like kind of very tentatively is gonna meet him in public place, because he feels bad for him.
right? There's like a way to apologize and let the bygones be.
Looking at you, Neil. You would fall for that.
100%.
100%.
100%.
You would fall for that.
So I'm getting, you guys don't see this, but producer Scott's throwing a lot of
looks.
little looks at me because of my issue with what do you want to say it being accommodating, too
Nice.
accommodating.
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, believe it or not, I am too a nice person. Which is why we're twins. It's because we are actually same.
I am not a nice person.
Yeah, to be clear, we're making fun of Neil right here. Sandra, you would also be dead.
Yeah, I'd probably be.
And we're going to come to that because
Well,
you're
no.
in Creep 2.
No, you know.
Creep 2 starring Sandra.
Hold on.
Me, however, I would have left a long
If it
time
hadn't
ago.
been for these movies, but I've learned the cautionary tale, and Mark Duplass saved my life. So now I'm not going to get myself into these situations. That's the old me. The new me is safe and has not gonna happen. I don't care how lonely you are. He goes, but he's filming and he has 911 on speed dial. But you can tell he
But
feels
leaves his
bad
phone
for
in the
him.
car, or is it
I
in
think
his
it's just
pocket?
the camera.
The
Yeah.
camera.
Okay,
yeah.
the camera's in the car.
Yeah.
Phone's in
Phone's
his
on
pocket.
speed dial. He great shot of him sitting there looking out at the lake from a distance, and Peachy getting closer with the axe.
This is a cool
like
shot.
Cartoon
This is a
character,
cool
too.
shot, actually. I really enjoyed this. How he like walks up to him and he's just like in a trench coat at this point. And then he
vest.
like puts the mask on
Yes, yes.
slowly, quietly, and then he like pulls the axe out and then it's like, holds it over his head. And you're never sure that it's going to happen until it happens. And that's what's really cool. And it's just like thunk, falls over.
Yeah.
And we realize Joseph's actually watching the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says it keeps getting better. And he's got those dead eyes I told you about earlier. And he's like, no matter what I did to you, you believed I was good and I would do you no harm. And for that reason, I love you forever and you are my favorite.
Yeah, you're the best.
The best. And he's got like these like, he's like rewinding it and watching it. And he's making these weird grunting, breathing sounds. And he does his own jump scare.
He does. That's right. He does.
And he's on to the next ruse because he's got a closet full of tapes.
He does. Yeah. Do you think, like Caleb said, he spent a lot of time standing behind him? Mm-hmm. First he stands there, then he puts a mask on, and then he walks a little close, gets his axe, walks closer, stands there. Well, it's like, is he trying to give Aaron a chance to see him there
I think he is.
I feel so, because
Yeah.
when it cuts to him watching the tape of the killing, he said, "Why didn't you ever turn around?"
Right.
Yeah. He was, yeah. But again, it's all part of his delicious happiness of like, that's why you're my favorite. You were like a true heart.
No, I think it's just weird, like foreplay to killing foreplay to him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Creep 2.
Part D.
All that I love about Creep 1 and more. And now with this awesome character of Sarah, who's like very kick-ass lady. I love her. And the creep is just, he's still creeping. He's still creeping. And I Creep 2. Yes. And so I love the way this opens. With a man opening a cardboard box and it's clear that there's a camera in the box.
Yeah.
Because it's in the wolf plush, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got the disc.
It's like one of those nanny cams.
Yes. And he's got the disc. That's not a good sign.
Right.
And he's watching it and he's all distressed. And then his friend Aaron shows up. And for a brief moment, we're all like, Aaron? It's Joseph.
Yeah.
He calls himself
Joseph
Aaron
is now going by Aaron, so
That's
which
not
is the
creepy.
name of the first murder victim and number one.
His favorite, his love.
Like, hopefully that won't get too confusing.
Yeah. His favorite, the love of his life, his Aaron.
Right.
Um,
But this person can't seem. He doesn't seem worried at all. That
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Does not seem like. He's just like, you want a beer? You're like, okay.
I mean,
Like,
he's a little distressed, but he's kind of like, he's a little distressed.
I don't
He's
know.
not distressed. He's
I-
not distressed at Aaron though. He's distressed by
Yes.
the box.
No, he's not distressed by Aaron at all. He's distressed about the box, yeah. Because he thinks that Aaron is completely,
But Aaron's like, you
trustworthy.
gonna go to the police? He's like,
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
his choice. And of course, he's being so kind and worried for his friend Dave. And it's like so great. He breaks the fourth wall and like winks at the camera, wolf, and everything. Because we know.
Yes, we know. Right from the beginning.
And then Aaron decides, I gotta get something going here. And he gives him this weird conversation about their relationship. And he's, it's kind of stale. And what are we doing here? And he's making it so weird. And Dave is like, clearly Dave has other things on his mind right now. And he's like, I think we're fine. And then it starts ramping up.
Yeah.
Did you notice that we met about the same time as you started receiving these strange letters?
And he's like, no. And you can tell he's almost like hoping, like, is this a prank? Is this a joke? It's not. And he does a really, really quick gets him, which I didn't see coming the first time I saw it, that he would get him right there.
Well, he pulls his knife out,
Yeah.
if I remember right, ahead of time. Like from
Yeah.
his booters, kind of hangs it below the table for a little bit.
Yeah. So we see it.
Yeah. And then yeah, quick.
And then he kind of is like, like it's very, he clearly is not satisfied with
No.
that kill.
Right.
No.
Now he meets Sarah, who is a YouTuber just like us, you guys.
She gets more watches on her videos though.
Probably true.
I love the Craigslist personals montage.
Oh, I love what she does.
Like,
Yeah. I like 100%. That is a lot of the type of content I watch on social media is things like
Sandra
this.
would
Yeah.
be her number one fan.
number one fan.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. This is totally the type of stuff that I watch. Is just like,
but they show
Yeah.
her that she'll go meet a guy who has mommy issues and just wants to be like held.
yeah,
So, and she'll just hold him
And
on the
people who
couch
kind of
and
have
pet him and
sad, lonely
You know.
problems,
Mhm.
like is kind of her key demographic.
But instead of being standoffish about it, she just
She jumps right in.
jumps right in and
Love it.
does not have any issues whatsoever
Nope.
with like making extremely long eye contact with a middle-aged man in a hot tub or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Like,
so
just
good.
bizarre.
It's so good. I love her. And she's lovely, but she's starting to have some doubts because she really wanted to make this like her thing,
Yeah.
and it's not popping off how she would like.
Feel that.
So she finds the ad for a friend. It's like looking for like a friend or something. It says like must be into movies like Interview with the Vampire.
Like, not a deal breaker, but a plus. Or
Yeah. So she's kind of hoping like, okay, maybe this is what I need to really get this channel launched. And so she goes to meet with Aaron, if you will. And now he's Mr. Ponytail. He's Mr. Green Smoothie. He's Mr. Wearing Scott's weird shoes. Scott has those shoes.
What
I
are
do have those
what are those,
shoes.
the Tivas?
They're
or-
Keens.
the
They're
Keen,
Keens.
like,
Yeah. And Sarah lies a little bit and says she's like a videographer and does like weddings and stuff. And you can see he kind of clocks that lie. Puts that in his back pocket for later.
Yeah.
But just the beginning of how they meet though, when like she goes, it's almost the same MO in a way where he's not there to greet the person when they get there.
Yep.
Right.
And so then, she just comes. Because she knocks, but the door's open and it just so she just goes on in.
Right. But I mean, it's saying for the first movie, even
he
wasn't there when his victim came, and it's the same way. It's almost like he's measuring them before they arrive. Right. You know what I mean? And then to see how to play or whatever, and he's doing his dishes or whatever, and she comes in, and he's kind of like, "Oh, hi," you know, kind of, but it makes it uncomfortable.
See you there,
right? Yeah, that's very much his MO. Is to he wants to have the upper hand, so he wants to make people feel off.
Right.
Kilter a little.
And the line delivery of, "Oh, that's your real name. Thank you for that."
Yeah.
Like, it's just
really good.
So perfect and off-putting. Like he's been given the greatest gift from her. It just really puts you on a back foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Aaron basically tells her he's having what equates to a serial killer midlife crisis.
Yeah, he admits right off the bat, I am a serial killer.
Yep.
And I want you to document.
And I'm not, and I won't kill you in the next 24 hours.
Yeah. Doesn't he even say I'm having what you call it, a MIDI? Is that what he says?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think so.
I think he says I'm having a MIDI.
Yeah. And I love it, having a MIDI.
Like, I've killed 39 people and I'm having a MIDI.
Like, it's just, it doesn't
Same.
sing. Yeah. It just doesn't sing anymore. It doesn't do it for him anymore. He's lost it. Austin Powers would say he lost his mojo.
Yeah.
And Peach Fuzz. So my favorite Peach Fuzz song is the one he sings in this one, which is, "I may look like a big bad wolf, but I'm as friendly as a rabbit."
Okay.
I sing that a lot. Scott can attest. And he shows her at the end of the last movie.
Yeah.
And of course, she's kind of like, there's no way that's real.
Right.
Yeah, she's not buying it.
And then she goes into the bathroom and films herself, right?
Well, before that, they have to tear down the nudity wall.
Right. Right, because there can be no walls between us.
There can be no walls between
Remove the barrier.
And again, we see Mark Duplass fully frontal people. And he's very much wanting it to be like, again, he's got the upper hand, she's uncomfortable, but she actually meets him exactly where she is. And she's not afraid, and she's confrontational, and she's like, "Okay, so like, I'm naked, you're naked, are we done now?"
His reaction when she's like, "Can it be my turn yet?" His reaction of pure like,
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, it's like the one part where he's kind of terrified for just a minute. Like, what do you mean? Why are you okay with this?
Yeah. He's like, nobody's ever had this reaction before. Normally they get uncomfortable. And so that's when she goes to the bathroom and she's like, oh my God. Like,
well, she has this weird, like, sort of angel and devil on each shoulder, like talking to herself. And she's like, normally I would never do this, but he's full of shit. He can't be a killer.
Yeah.
This is going to be great for my channel.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
People have done way fucking crazier things for their channels and their views, as we know.
Right.
And she's got a knife in her boot.
Yeah. Well, and if you've watched our Fog episode, we blindly walked into a church, with we didn't know it was going to be inside.
We walked into a church, okay?
That was literally the moment that I realized, I would die in a horror movie. Like,
this is that
moment. Here's
the difference, though. If you were by yourself, would you have gone in there?
Probably.
Hell no.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
No.
I wouldn't have. Hell no.
No.
Are you kidding me?
I would have said, stranger danger.
What is wrong with you people?
Why can't we get in the running car?
And he's trying to do a couple jump scares to her this whole time. And she's, as he says, you're a tough nut to crack.
Yeah. Doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
Then he's driving as Peach Fuzz, which she was like very funny. She's like, as a passenger, I don't love it. Like,
yeah.
So, that's right. He talks about Coppola.
Francis Ford.
And then when he gets to the river, and the river isn't rivering how he would like it, she tells him, Aaron, Coppola. What would Coppola do?
Well, he has a full-on meltdown about how he had this
tantrum.
This whole shot planned, and again, I wonder, did he have it mapped out before and the water just went down, or is this just all part of it?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's so funny and awkward and a drama queen, and he like has this little fit, and he's like, "Hold my hand, don't leave."
So he ends up just sitting in
Yeah.
a couple inches of water.
Hilarious.
Yep, and he's doing several takes, right?
Well, he's doing several
Trying to
takes,
do
and
his-
then the birds
The birds.
He's threatening the
He
birds.
starts getting
I
into
want
this.
you to do it again. I want you to do it again.
Which I'm guessing probably was not scripted, right? I would assume.
No, I don't. I
think it was
feel
not.
very
Yeah.
little of any of this was scripted, other than like they drive to this location.
And then they improv, perhaps. I
Right.
don't know.
But I like how she's.
There's no way that the arms floating up in the air
No,
like
yeah.
it was scripted. There's no
Yeah.
way.
It was so funny. She's like, "Aaron, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how then she stops at one point because of the shadows.
Right.
Yeah. Just kind of like
She's kind of like pushing him a
Yeah,
little.
yeah.
Yeah. And she says a couple of times she's like kind of antagonizing him a little bit for reactions.
right.
So he listens to jam band music, so obviously a serial killer, like obviously. And he's sitting all emo in the tub of water.
That's right.
And she's, that's just the song Sarah Loves Her Juicy Fruit. Probably not even the name of this fucking song. Who knows with him?
Right.
And he tells the really disturbing origin story of how he became this way.
Right.
Do you think that story's true?
I kind of
Because
think
he
this one's true.
lies so much. Like
I-
it's
Yeah.
clear he didn't actually. Like the Francis Ford Coppola thing was
Yeah.
something he made up. The cancer was something he made up.
I think that
That
there's
story kind of feels real though.
I think there's at least a nugget of truth in it, but I think it could be real, but I think there's something about it that's real.
I don't know.
I think he had some of his problems since childhood, but that could have been what kind of pushed him into murder territory. So yeah, you got to lay naked with your victim and take their spirit into you.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's meeting him bit by bit still.
Right.
She's like, she holds him in the tub.
As a means to calm him down.
Yeah.
But okay. Before she goes in there, he's telling her to leave.
Yeah.
He's like,
Go.
go, I'm done, get out of here, this is over.
Yeah.
And then she's refusing to leave. So, if she had left,
Mhm.
do we think he would have shown up at her house and started the same thing? Or was he legitimately letting her get out because he was done?
Oh, it's very hard to say with him.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't watched the show yet, so this kind of mythos may have changed or may be wrong, but I actually think that he doesn't really have interest in killing women at this point in the
He's killed
story.
women. No, he says
Oh, he
it.
has?
Yeah, he's killed like 39 men and women, he says.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, that throws my theory out the window, because
Smooth.
yes, I think that she would have survived if she had left then.
I really
Okay.
don't know because he's so unpredictable. Like, he could have decided to pursue her later.
Well, it's also she's kind of everything that he has thrown at her hasn't worked.
Yeah, so maybe he's like, this might work.
Well, I don't know, or
Yeah.
maybe he just was done. Maybe, I don't know.
I can't believe this guy. He's an unreliable narrator.
He's extremely. He's and the best example of one,
Yes,
I would think.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, turns out he's getting a little inspired by all this. He's starting to get a little amped. And it's funny, at one point he talks about how he feels like he's fair to his victims. Like, he kind of, like, clearly
Right.
warns them.
He warns them, gives them several chances.
And then-
Like
yeah.
leaving an axe in front of the
Yeah,
yard.
he's like, I thought that was so
or
obvious.
putting in my Craigslist ad that must like liking interview with a vampire.
He thinks these signs are so
he
obvious.
thinks that's an obvious sign that they're about to get killed.
There's a point where they're getting some wine, and he's like, I hope this is Coppola wine. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And he says, Mommy needs her juice. Where's Mommy's juice? And he calls her out. So it's like, now, Sarah, you lied to me. I know all about your YouTube channel. I know what you're doing here. And that's the first time you can tell she feels a little, I wasn't quite prepared for this.
Right.
Right.
It's a very large glass of wine she pours.
Very
Oh, I
heavy.
feel like it was the whole bottle in 2 glasses.
I think it was the whole bottle
Okay.
in two. And so he's decided that she's going to murder him. And it's like he does this weird thing where he like wants her to chop off his head.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the peach fuzz mask.
Right.
And
She
she's
won't
like,
do it.
She's not gonna do this. And then he does a little trick where it makes it look like he hangs, but he actually
Nice.
apparently has a harness on. But that puts her over the edge because she's like, that was
She's
like,
like, all right, I'm out.
yeah, not
gone.
cool. And he does his classic stammering apology thing that these manipulators always do, and he's done it before. And he says he wants to give her a good episode. He's just a weird pathological liar and sociopath. But you know, like, it's not his fault that he's like just this weird fucking guy. Like, it's just like, I'm just weird. And then he turns on his Mark Duplass charm and he starts being very affable and very like kind of sweet and kind of like, I'm just a weird guy.
I'm just a weird guy.
But I'm kind of charming.
But he's also, isn't he also, I can't remember now, I'm sorry. He was like impressed or whatever the word might be that she legitimately wanted to save him,
Yeah, he loved that about
right?
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. And because again, what happens next, again, it's kind of like, to me, it's like, does he really want it? Does he, in a sense, find a kinship with her and wants things, since he wants to supposedly end his time on the earth, and she will, the Romeo and Juliet together kind of thing or something, you know?
Right. So,
But or does he not really?
Well, I mean,
You
I
know.
took it as he found a way to get the power back.
oh, okay.
That's how I took it. I'm
I-
not saying that's right because I have
Yeah.
no fucking idea because
well-
his character is so unreliable that we don't know.
So he's turning on the like, you know, charm, and he's just like, I've never been kissed thing.
Right.
Right.
And she gives him his first kiss, and it's like, you're like, why is this sweet? Like, this movie, this is weird.
You were
But
thinking that?
it is kind of
You're a
sweet,
psychopath.
though. It is kind of
Jesus.
sweet.
Oh my god.
Did you think it was kind of sweet?
Like I said, Creep 2 starring Sandra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No, but
That
it's
would be
no,
Sandra right
no,
there. Oh, you've never been
not
kissed
sweet
before?
at all.
No, even I at that point, I'm like, okay, you know, she's doing this to perpetuate her, you know, her legacy as this channel she's trying
Can't
to do.
two
but
things be true at once?
she seems too smart to me
I
to
feel
fall
like she's,
for her.
I feel like she's doing the views, but she's also like it's for the views, but like, I can change this guy's life, and won't that make me look like, you know, I've chronicled
And
this
maybe
incredible
because we, the
story
viewer, know more about him than
than
she does.
This is
Right.
true.
So
We're an advantage.
it's kind of a yes,
But
yeah.
to me, she has been a very capable and intelligent woman to this point,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore, I don't want to think that she really thinks that. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
she is going into.
And I'm
it,
and
I
I'm
can-
agreeing with you on this
So-
though. You know, no.
I think that's why I think she's doing it strictly because, you know, for the video.
I think it's both. I think it's
Okay.
both.
Doing it for the gram.
Yeah, she's definitely doing it for the likes, doing it for the subs, but also probably like wants to, you know, do something kind of what am I looking for the word? Philanthropic, almost, something like that.
Yes.
Is this when he gives her the locket?
Yes. So
So,
they go.
sorry, there's a picture of another guy in there.
So they go out
It's
to
the
the
same
woods.
locket from the last.
They go out to the woods and they're like playing like a kind of fun game of like hide and go seek. She gets him really good too, which is funny. Yeah, and then he makes it weird with, let me give you my Aaron locket, and
Right.
here's a grave, and we're gonna Romeo and Juliet this thing.
Yes.
And I think that he would have legitimately been very happy with that.
Okay. That's. I mean, he
Okay.
does stab himself 3 times
Yeah, and I think
and says, "Okay, you're next."
yeah, I think
For yourself to do.
I think he thought she would literally do it.
I mean, she hadn't turned anything else down at this point.
Yeah. And he's like, this will
True.
be great. He's like, we'll have made this like magnum opus, basically.
Right.
And she's like, oh no. And he's like, you're my muse, my Coppola. And she should have just kept running. She ends up she gives him the shovel to the head.
Well, after
Well,
she gets him.
She
first.
runs away.
He gets
He's
her
running
first.
after her.
She goes behind the tree. He jumps on top, and
Yeah, they have a
he
tussle.
stabs her a few
Right.
times.
Yeah,
he does
he
stab
both
her and then
stabs her.
Yeah.
drags her back to the
The hole.
already dug grave.
Yeah.
Which could be the one left over from the first movie. It's not because it's a different place he's at.
Yeah. And yeah, then shovel to the head.
A good shovel to the head. He's
Well, he's monologuing
He's
to the
doing
camera,
his
Yeah.
stupid bad guy man monologue.
which is great. And that,
Which I
again,
feel kind of bad about because it was kind of my idea.
but
Was
it's
your
a
idea
cool
the monologue?
No,
it's
he
a,
says that. Yeah.
it's a cool scene because she now
Crawling out.
is behind him, quietly crawling out of the grave,
Right.
grabbing the shovel,
Yeah.
lifting it slowly, and then just thunk.
Gets him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then we cut to sometime later. Her hair's different, it's longer, so you can tell there's been a little passage of time.
She's in New York.
She's in New York and she's walking, and we realize she's being filmed. That's not good. She gets on the subway. We hear the Peach Fuzz whistle.
Yep.
They make eye contact.
Fade to black.
So good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Awesome ending
good.
for that movie.
Real good.
Because anything else would be unsatisfying,
Right.
in my opinion. Because we know, like, he's not necessarily dead.
Oh no, for sure.
Right.
And I have no idea if she would go to the police or not. It's very hard to say. And I don't mean that in like a victim blamey way. People have their reasons. But, that she might just want to I just want to forget about it. I just want it to have never happened.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind
Well,
of
then
feel
she
like
needs to double tap him.
that's right. I kind of feel like she
and sort of
would.
make sure.
Or maybe like get a hose and fill that grave. Yeah, something. I don't know. But yeah, it's a great, very satisfying ending.
Yeah, it's good. I think she did go to the police. I think she moved to New York to just hopefully blend in with the 11 million people that are walking around
Yeah.
Manhattan.
She could have.
And then
Oh.
yet he finds her, of course, because of what he does.
See, I felt she was going to film school there because she said earlier on
getting
she
her
wanted
master's.
Yeah, I mean, very
You
well
know.
could be.
Yeah.
But
and so he kind of, I guess, knew where to look for her.
But
okay.
we love Sarah.
Maybe.
A
We
worthy
do.
adversary.
No,
to
Sarah
Mary.
is a very, very cool. Although, she may have done some weird things, but
That's what the YouTubers do.
It's good. But I enjoyed part 2 quite a bit.
yes, two
yeah.
enjoyed much better than one. A lot more.
And they take the mythos and they make it richer, and they've got a little more budget and a little more time.
Yeah. Cool.
I really like how both of these movies are about changing the typical power dynamic in
Yes,
films.
I agree.
The first one is very much about like it's normally a woman who is the one being preyed upon
Right.
by someone. And in the second one, Sarah really is taking a lot of the power and is kind of like the instigator through most of the
She's
film.
kind of the antagonist. in a
Yeah,
way, if you will.
exactly.
Like literally antagonizing. Yeah.
And so it both of them like really turn those relationships kind of on their head, and is kind of a statement towards those kind of like standard power struggles, and turns them upside down. That's why I really, really like both films.
Yeah.
Well said, producer Scott.
Perfect. We should have had him talk from the beginning.
They nailed it.
That's it. Done.
Nailed it in one.
Yeah.
You
You want
want to do a game?
to play a game?
It's your birthday game.
All right.
I always like to take a peek afterwards
Look-
at Neil's notes.
Look at my notes.
It's fun. He writes funny things. He writes funny things in his notes.
Things to remind me. All right, we
Same.
are going to play a birthday game, and since it happens to be Sandra's birthday, we're going to tie it to that.
Okay.
That works out
Fabulous.
well, right?
Yes.
This game, Sandra, is basically called "How Well Do You Know December 4th?" So there's in history, aside from of course your birth,
Yeah.
there are other things that have occurred on this day,
You don't say.
December 4th, throughout the history. So we're going to find out and maybe you'll get some of your friends to come in. You might phone a friend. You
I
might
have friends. I
ask,
do.
ask the audience, whatever,
Okay.
for some help. But
Yeah,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
December.
Let me open a browser here. So. Okay.
Excited.
I'm ready.
I'm basically going to read off two different historical
Sagittarius
facts.
season. Sagittarius, you're welcome.
You're gonna read what?
2 historical facts that
Okay.
occurred in history, because they're historical. One of them on December 4th, and the others could be whenever.
Okay.
So you're basically going to have to guess the one. that was
Signing of the
December 4th.
Declaration of
So
Independence.
one fact and a lie.
No, well, they're both facts, actually.
Oh, okay.
One just occurred on December 4th,
Got it.
and one did not.
Okay. All
Okay?
right. I understand this game.
Do you get it now?
We're ready.
Okay. Here we go. First one is going to, this happened in December 4th, 2012. Or did it?
What did I-
Typhoon Pablo kills over 1,000 people in the Philippines. This happened in 1989 on December 4th. The Chinese crackdown on protests leads to the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Okay.
So, did a Typhoon Pablo
Shoot.
hit the Philippines or the Tiananmen Square massacre?
Okay, so I'm like 99% positive that the Tiananmen Square massacre did not happen on December 4th.
I'm pretty sure it did not.
But I also didn't realize that there was typhoons in December, so I'm kind of
See,
torn.
that was my first question. Is
Well, we just had a tsunami warning
when
yesterday.
is typhoon season?
totally different. Totally different.
You know what?
Do typhoons have seasons?
They do.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with typhoon. True.
I'm gonna go with typhoon
It's
as
your
well.
birthday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back
Because
your play.
Tiananmen Square, I don't.
I feel like that was a summer thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The correct answer is typhoon. Good job.
Yay us! Totally nailed that one.
And you know what? You're right about the Tiananmen Square. That was actually in summer, but it was on the 4th. Actually, I believe it was on June 4th, 1989. So, there you go. Good job. Good job.
All right.
Next up, in 2009, on December 4th, Amanda Knox was convicted of murder in Italy. Do you remember the whole Amanda Knox
Oh,
story?
very well. I followed
Okay.
it like this. Yeah.
And I'm like, who?
In 2003, on December 4th, Martha Stewart was indicted for securities fraud and obstruction of justice.
Oh, I thought. Well, I know they started pursuing Martha earlier than 2003.
But that's when she was actually indicted.
Indicted.
Yeah.
And then Amanda Knox. 2000
Convicted. And of course, later she was acquitted and then
Yeah.
retried and convicted again and then acquitted, whatever the hell happened to her. But yeah.
And she got safely back to America.
Right.
She was crazy.
Did she do it though?
No, I don't think she did it.
Okay.
That's
all I need. Free Amanda.
Woo, I got you, girl. I got your back. I'm gonna go with the Amanda Knox as the December 4th.
That is correct. Good job.
That's what I was gonna pick.
Good job.
You're doing
Good job.
great.
You're
Good
doing
job.
December
I-
4th.
I-
Birthday magic has like enveloped you in
enveloped me.
a warm embrace.
a magic cloak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my magic birthday cloak.
All right. December 4th, 1919.
That's the year I was born.
That's right. Congress passes the 19th Amendment, paving the way for women to vote. Or December 4th, 1991. Pan American World Airways ceased operations. Of course, Pan American being Pan Am. Ceased operations.
That
Which one happened on December 4th? The passing of the 19th Amendment or Pan Am going bye-bye?
19th Amendment.
I feel like it's unlikely that Congress did anything into December,
But that was a long time ago.
and airlines tend to go out of business in the winter, so I'm going to go with the airline.
Oh shit, we don't agree.
Yeah,
But it's your final call.
one of us will be right.
I like your logic,
It is
but
good logic.
I'm going with the 19th Amendment.
Okay. The answer is, unfortunately, Pan America.
Let's go.
Pan Am. Unfortunately, he called it exactly.
It's hubris. I flew too close to the sun in my birthday cloak, and the wax melted in my birthday coat wings.
Actually, it's my fault. I jinxed you.
It's your fault,
Made
Caleb.
you feel a little cocky. I apologize.
Just blame Caleb.
I feel like I look like Charlie Brown.
And do I sound in your
you
ears?
blockhead?
When I'm talking, you just hear wah, 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 wah.
What were you saying? I'm just
Exactly.
kidding.
All right, next up, 1980, December 4th, Led Zeppelin announced their breakup. This was 2 months after the death of drummer John Bonham. Okay, or 1976, December 4, the Sex Pistols play the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester, England, ringing in the age of punk.
What year did you say?
1976 for the Sex Pistols. 1980 for Led Zeppelin.
I don't know everything. Really. I didn't know. Do you guys know, like, did the Sex Pistols announce a breakup? Like, does that sound familiar to you that they announced, like, okay,
In
we have to break up?
76?
Well, they
When I
weren't
was-
announcing a breakup. In
They
this.
they just
they were
played.
coming together.
They sort of brought punk to.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Led Zeppelin. I'm sorry. Like, did
Oh,
they
okay.
ever announce, like,
Oh.
a breakup? Or did they
What
just
year
kind
was
of
that
fizzle
again?
out? 1980?
I mean, I was 6. I wasn't.
Well, yeah, but
Yes,
I mean,
the answer though is yes. it
But
did.
yes,
Okay.
these
That's-
are true.
They are true.
All happened. It
Yeah.
just
that's right,
isn't.
they are true.
So and John Bonham did,
Yeah.
drink himself to death, unfortunately.
Do you
but
know what month he died in?
No, I do not.
I mean, I know I watched that behind the music, but I can't tell you. I'm gonna go with
So and then never once when like, oh, that's my birthday.
yeah.
Like none of these are sounding familiar. Right?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Sex Pistols. It's my birthday.
Okay, it was Led Zeppelin.
Fuck.
It was a Zepp.
Gotta let the lead out.
You gotta. This Sex Pistols concert was fairly famous because it was like kind of their big coming out story, basically.
Yeah, but what was that?
When?
Yeah.
1976. I can't tell you the exact month. I don't recall.
Well, that's no
But-
fun then. Because
Then how do you know it wasn't on December 4th?
Okay, it was. Oh no, it was December 4th though. I know. Most of these are actually all happened on December 4th, but
the Sex
different-
Pistols was
Sorry,
December 4th?
I'm sorry, excuse me, not December 4th, but the 4th of 1 month.
A 4th of a month.
Of a month, yes.
Okay.
Of a month. I apologize for my misspeaking.
We just
there.
want to make sure you're not cheating.
No, I'm not. But I'm telling you, these. I'm not even necessarily saying that everything was on a 4th or whatever. But
Okay.
a lot of these are.
We forgive you.
That being said, the Sex Pistols, it was really cool because members of Joy Division and Morrissey were at that concert, and it is basically said that concert inspired them to then go forth,
And Concord.
whatever that means to you.
Do what?
I like Joy Division.
I like Joy Division.
Morrissey.
They're so
Yeah.
happy. I love them.
Not so much with the Morrissey.
I hear you.
So happy.
Okay, 1966 on December 4th, a military dog named Nemo saved the life of his handler, Airman Robert A. Thronberg, during the Vietnam War. Nemo survived a gunshot wound to the nose in the process.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Or in 1942 on December 4th, the Battle of Midway begins.
Midway was not in December. No.
What? But wait. Are you sure? Because Pearl Harbor is in December.
But Midway's in like the South Pacific or something, right?
It was in the Pacific Ocean, yes.
Yeah.
No. Midway was not in December.
You don't sound confident. It's not
I'm-
me.
I-
That
you
same
are-
as not meeting your eyes.
Okay, you are. I will grant you shoot.
No, I'm sorry. We're going with Pearl Harbor on my birth. Well, you know the Pearl Harbor thing. Battle of Midway. The thing
Battle
I
of
said.
Midway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pearl Harbor is.
That happened 2 years earlier, yeah. Okay.
I feel, I don't know why, but I feel like Midway was like the summer.
Yeah, me too. I'm like,
And I don't know if it's just because
99%
it's
sure.
tropical and
And
I'm
I
thinking
watched
summer.
because
but
I watched the movie Midway many times. The
Ah.
OG.
Oh, see, I've never seen any of those.
It's not good, but I mean, it's very good because they.
So,
put
I'm saying
so
the
much-
dog was shot on December 4th.
It is a dog.
It is.
It is a dog. It is a dog. It was not Midway.
Yes.
Midway wasn't the
I
summer.
don't know if there was any logic in that, but
That's okay though. Hey, no one said these
It
gonna all be
worked out.
easy. Hey, it's
They're
okay.
hard.
these are very hard.
Yes, they're
actually.
hard.
Very hard.
I'm doing well.
Okay, here's one for you. You'll definitely get this one. In 1876, express train crosses the nation in 83 hours.
Express
An
train.
express train
80.
crosses. Remember, these are all true. It's just
Right,
did it happen
right.
on December 4th? Express train crosses the nation in 83 hours in 1876, or in 1965, the Gemini 7 launched with Frank Borman and Jim Lovell. The objective, of course, was to investigate the effects of 14 days in space on the human body. Did man go into space on
Ooh,
December 4th?
Yeah.
Or did a train speed across the country?
83 hours.
I just feel like 83 hours is
Okay.
too fast for.
Okay, here's
But
my
it's
logic.
true. It is true.
true.
It must have really happened. But
Here's my logic. For a train to go across the country, it has to go through the Sierras, which it ain't gonna do if they're trying to break a record in December. So I am saying the train did not happen in December.
I'll go with
That-
you
that
on
makes
this.
sense.
I'll hop on this express train
Okay.
with you.
all right,
That is correct.
all right.
That is exactly right. The Gemini 7 launch.
This is why I'm so good at testing. By the way, I don't need to study for tests.
Let's not go.
I'm
ahead of
really good.
ourselves
I'm
here.
really good at guessing.
My gosh, freaking Mr. Cocky over
Okay.
here.
1945.
I can get a C on any test.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Any
barely
test.
above a D, but yeah.
Hey, D's earn degrees.
Anyway,
Anyway,
In 1945, on December 4th, the U.S. Senate approved U.S. participation in the newly formed United Nations. Okay. Or in 1984, Bruce Springsteen released Born in the USA.
does the Senate do anything?
I'm
in
pretty sure I
December?
actually know this answer, and I'm pretty positive it's the UN. I'm pretty positive.
Did we
that's when
join the
joined
UN in
yeah.
1945 on December 4th?
I'm pretty sure that is
or did
correct.
we learn about what it's like to be born in the
Born in
USA?
Or down a dead man's chest.
I'll
Which
say
is
if
the
he
song about
if
the
he
Vietnam
released an
War,
album in
yeah.
December, he's dumb. So, but no, I'm actually pretty sure that
Wait,
we
what?
joined album in December.
Christmas, man.
Not that.
Christmas.
This isn't no.
This is the 80s.
I
Christmas.
guess it is the 80s. And yeah, okay.
I don't know.
You know what? You're right. I rescind my statement. I'm still pretty sure it's the UN.
UN.
I don't.
I mean, come on, that song. If that song is not a song of the summer of the year that it came
It's
out,
not-
then nothing is.
It's a song about like
I know, it's
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
It's not
It's
like
not
a
the
happy
song of the
song.
summer.
Right. But
it
Reagan
turned
didn't know
into that.
Yeah, and then they said can't have it.
The answer is United Nations. Good job, Scott. Phew. Okay. In 1952, the term smog was invented on December 4th.
Smaug the dragon.
Smog. Of course, being a lethal fog. Oh, yeah, the reason it came and happened was a lethal fog covered London, lasting for 5 days. And they're like, hey, look, it's kind of like smoke and fog. Let's call it smog.
Oh,
let's call it smog.
my God. I never knew that. That makes me so mad.
What is that, Mister? I make
That
it
makes me
tasty.
so mad that that's true. That makes
That's funny.
Fuck
The other one,
British.
Okay.
the Treaty of Trianon was signed by representatives of Hungary on one side and the Allied powers on the other, concluding World War One. So did we end World War One on your birthday, or did smog
invented?
Probably smog.
I think smog.
I want it to be the opportunistic, or into like the nice. It's the smog.
What was the year for the smog?
52.
52. I mean, I feel like they probably have all of like their fireplaces going and everything. I'm gonna
In December?
Yeah, it's
in
the
December,
smog.
yeah, I'm gonna say
You're gonna agree
the
there
smoky
with Sandra?
fog. God damn it!
Smoky fog.
The smog is correct.
Smoky fog.
It's too much to hope for something nice.
Can I scrub that knowledge from my brain? I don't.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I don't.
I'm sure you'll forget.
That's true. I've forgotten many things.
Schmaug.
Smog.
Schmaug.
No, that one's gonna stick. That one's gonna stick.
That makes me so mad. I don't know why that makes me so irrationally angry.
All right,
Kind of
only a couple
entertaining.
left. Only a couple left.
Okay.
The world's first shopping carts were introduced at Humpty Dumpty grocery stores in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on December 4th.
Before they just had hand carts.
Of course they were.
They had, and then, in 1881, the Los Angeles Times was first published. Although at that point it was called the Los Angeles Daily Times. So were shopping carts invented, or did the Los Angeles Times get published?
Right. Something
On
important
December 4th.
versus
Does it?
something not.
Does it snow in Oklahoma?
Yes.
Yes.
Then I don't think that the shopping carts happened during December.
But it could also be Christmas shopping. They want people to buy more
At the
stuff
grocery
for
store?
Christmas. Yeah. People make feasts.
I don't know.
People have feasts.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's a good. You make a good point.
Maybe they're invented because of the snow.
You make a good point. You make a good point.
Because they're also walkers.
Yeah. And then the other, and then
Walkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Slow
then-
walkers.
I'm
White walkers.
I can't even remember what the other thing was.
The Los Angeles
Los
Times.
Angeles, LA
Oh.
Was
Times.
first published LA
LA
Times in
Times.
1881
No.
as the Los Angeles Daily.
This is like I don't. There's come on.
Shopping cart. It's a shopping
Come on,
cart.
Mr. Logic.
Sandra
Figure
has
this one
called
out.
for shopping
All
carts.
right, shopping carts.
Final answer. All right, it's the LA Times. Scott's logic yet again, actually, initially would have proved correct.
How so?
He said it because it was the snow. It snows there. They wouldn't have introduced shopping carts in the snow.
They're not gonna put. Well, they're shopping in the store. It's the snow in the store. Like that doesn't make any sense.
What's wrong with you, Oklahoma? Hey, in 19...
Well,
Oh my god!
When will this torture
You're
end?
absolutely right. I of course think about shopping carts. The most convenient thing is getting from the store to the car, but there is also the whole thing about shopping in the store itself.
You can't trust Mr. Test Taker Extraordinaire. What she got? Is there one more?
There's a few. I
all right,
won...
all right.
Only two more.
Okay, let's do it.
Torture.
All right. In 1970, on December 4th, the Kingdom of Tonga achieved independence within the British Commonwealth.
That's awesome. I would love for that to have happened on December 4th.
Or 1791, December 4th, the first edition of the world's first Sunday newspaper, The Observer, was published.
Okay, so it would be really weird for the LA Times and the Observer to have the exact same release date unless the LA Times specifically targeted that date in memorial.
Because of The Observer.
Do
Which,
people observe observers? No. Do people observe start dates of newspapers though?
Yeah.
And do we think Neil would put two of the same things in there with one?
I think that at this point Neil is on autopilot and just looking
Just-
for dates.
yeah.
In that case, I'm going to go with the newspaper. And my logic is Neil.
I'm gonna
Good
go with the
logic.
Tongolese folk.
the answer is newspaper.
I'm still happy for Tom.
Let's go.
Even if it couldn't happen on my birthday, I'm still happy for that.
The Observer is a
I'm
UK
telling you,
newspaper.
man.
It's been
60%
going
of the time.
for a long time.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been December 4th.
It does not. You're
or
right.
June 4th.
You're absolutely correct. 100%.
I mean, I wouldn't think about launching a newspaper in December and typically,
right.
because it seems like people are already in holiday mode. But
That's
I don't
true.
know.
I don't know. All right, last one.
Okay.
Napoleon Bonaparte commanded the siege of Mantua, which resulted in the exclusion of Austrians from northern Italy. Or 1259, King Louis IX of France and Henry III of England signed the Treaty of Paris, ending 100 years of conflict.
Oh.
Did
So-
Bonaparte conquer, or did the Treaty of Paris get signed?
Bonaparte.
Well, I
Probably.
don't think they were fighting in December in France or England.
But Napoleon did invade Russia in the winter.
Yep, he was just crazy enough to do it.
Final answer.
Final answer. The answer was the treaty. It was the treaty. That's okay, though.
I was going with my logic again. He invaded Russia. In the
Yeah.
winter.
Okay, it's good logic. Okay, hey, birthdays. Birthdays.
Yeah.
Who was born on December 4th? Tyra Banks or Angelina Jolie?
Tyra
Tyra
Banks.
Yeah.
Very good.
Even I know that one.
Yeah.
How?
Because there's not a lot of celebrities born on December 4th.
Okay, then you'll know all these then.
Oh, okay. I might.
There's
yeah.
two more. Fred Armisen or Robert Downey Jr.?
Fred.
Fred Armisen is correct. Very good.
That's why
Last
we're-
one.
So we're both witty geniuses.
Jay-Z or Neil Simon?
Oh, I hope it's Jay-Z.
You don't like Neil Simon?
No, I like Neil. Wait, which one's Neil Simon?
The playwright?
Are you thinking of Paul Simon?
What's wrong with Paul Simon?
I'm just wondering who you're thinking of.
Are you thinking of Simon Cowell?
Are you thinking of Simon Says?
I was thinking Simon Says. is
You're thinking of Simple Simon?
meta hymen.
No such thing as a simple hymen.
So, is it?
Neil Simon wrote like Brighton Beach Memoirs and The Odd Couple. I mean, he wrote
Yeah,
so much stuff.
yeah. Or Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know?
I don't know. I do not.
Can it be both?
It is not both.
Jay-Z.
Correct.
Nice.
Good job.
You're in good company.
Yeah, you got
I
that
think
right.
so. I think
Like
so.
really good company.
Did you guys know that December 4th is National Dice Day?
What?
Dice?
As in, it's time to roll the dice, baby, and see how lucky you are. National Dice Day is December 4th.
As a D&D person, I find this fascinating.
Yeah, you should know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's also International Cheetah Day.
What?
As
I love
in-
cheetahs.
Yeah,
They're so cool. They're so fast.
they are. They're very fast. And they created Cheetah Day to basically let people remember and remind people that cheetahs are also, being
Important.
hunted and
Yeah.
being poached and
I
killed,
like
and to remind people to stop doing that. And
Stop it.
To help the cheetah population. That's all I have. That's it.
So go help a cheetah.
Help a cheetah
Help
in
a
my
cheetah.
honor.
And
Help a
Sandra's
cheetah
honor.
cross the road. Help a cheetah carry its groceries in the snow.
Oklahoma.
I was gonna do
Help
this
a
on
cheetah sign a peace treaty with
Yeah.
with the gazelle.
with the gazelle.
There you go.
On that note, goodbye.
Happy birthday,
or
by
a
the way,
dick
Sandra.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
happy birthday,
Thank
Sandra.
you guys for this swell cold show party.
But you had fun.
There'll be cake.
Where's my cake?
There will be
But
cake.
it-
Where's your cake?
my cake?
Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Pod people of the future, thank you. If you want some merch, go to www.thecultshow.com/store. Get yourself something cool.
Thank you
Shirt.
again for the crystal.
Yeah, thank you, friends. Thank you so much.
Bye.